Logic 0, example 31.2, invoking a logical truth in a proof operating at the material level. Proofs operating at the material level have the variables A, B, C, D, etc. Logical truths operate at the level of logic in the way that I've used that phrasing. And that's why we use PQRS for logical truths, is because they really operate at the level of logic. Whereas when we have a proof involving specific variables from the beginning of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, etc., those that symbolism of using these A, B, C, D invokes the notion of the material level, like that we're talking about something that's factually true about the world, not necessarily logically true about the world, but just a factually true. And so, and maybe that's maybe another way of phrasing this is operating at the material level is operating at the level of facticity, facts that aren't necessarily logically true. And then the level of logic is something that's just necessarily true given the way we have defined logic. Okay. So we have a problem here that looks like this. We have a problem here that looks like this with, let's see, I think we're proving G. Yeah, okay. All right, so we're going to set aside the conclusion we're seeking. And here I'm going to invoke a logical truth, C only if C. So notice that when we are operating at the material level, we can take a logical truth like P only if P, and we can replace P with any statement. And so we can make it into C only if C. And then we want to create a conditional proof segment by supposing A, and looking at line 1 and lines 5, we can get B or C, and lines 1 and 5 by modus ponens. And now that we have B or C, looking at lines 3 and 4 and 6, we can get C or C, so lines 3, 4, and 6, by constructive dilemma. Notice that the consequence of lines 3 and 4 are both C. So in terms of the rule, C is taking the role of both Q and S, okay? And then we can say that A only if C or C from lines 5 through 7 by conditional proof. And then we can simplify this to A only if C by tautology of disjunction. Okay. And now we have the antecedent of line 2 in line 9. So we can use modus ponens and we get D and G. Lines 2, 9, and modus ponens. And we want to get G, so we can do mutativity of conjunction from line 10. And then we can do G from line 11 by simplification. And we have proved what was thought. And so we have our proof.